Like, do you want to see my phone? Like, I've never gotten a message from him ever. He's never messaged me ever. He's never even messaged me. We've never talked. I've never spoken to him.
What's wrong with you at this point, though?
He's scared at his pussy.
Hey.
He's scared.
He's scared at his pussy.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. I said, hey.
Hey.
Welcome back to my channel.
Hey, girl.
Hey, y'all. I'm Jazmyn W. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. First, I must let you know, if you are here and you haven't subscribed to my channel, baby, what are we doing and why are we doing it?
Why?
Okay. Also, I do have a Patreon, or you can join right here on memberships to get access to some exclusive content, exclusive lives with me, and also Jazz After Dark, which is a live podcast I do every week about intimacy. Tomorrow night, well, Saturday night, the 15th, we will be talking about talking them through it. Yes, it's a big topic that's trending on TikTok right now. How to talk your man through it, how to talk your woman through it. What does that even mean? And how do you do it? Well, we're going to talk about it tomorrow night on Jazz After Dark. I don't know if this video is going to be out in time for y'all to catch up with that. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, honey. I don't know. Anyway, today we will be talking about Married at First Sight.
Let's get into it.
The most recent episode. Now, a lot of y'all have commented on my YouTube and said, Jazz, we can't wait to hear your thoughts on this episode. We can't wait to hear your thoughts on this episode. I'm glad that I was sick over the past couple of days because my baby got me sick. We've been in the house stuck like Chuck. Okay, but you know, I've had some time to really think about the episode and let it marinate because I had a lot of different emotions and we're going to talk about them. But I'm glad I've had some time to settle down and just reflect on the episode. So let's get into it. Y'all put a little bit of pressure on me by wanting to know what I think, but let's get into it. On my channel, we always start with the most boring couple. Please watch till the end.
Please.
Because we going to get into it. All right. The most boring couple on this episode was Camille and Thomas because apparently they were asleep when all the drama popped off. Okay. Thomas said, I'm too old for this when it came to the drama. We have 8 days until decision day. And Thomas had a serious question for Camille. He said, Camille, are you ready to be a parent? I wrote down, Thomas, are you?
Right.
Because you 40 something, I think. You're 40 something. So are you ready to be a parent? Okay. He said, what does parenting look like to you? Camille said she's ready to be a parent. She's always wanted to be a mom. I believe she's 30 or 31 years old. And she's ready to be a mom. That's what she said. And Thomas said that being a parent, or the idea of being a parent, is scary to him. It's scary. And I wrote down, oh, hell. It kind of concerns me whenever I hear a man say that he's scared to be a father, because it lets me know that maybe this is not something that you really want.
Exactly.
You scared to do it? Like, yeah, it's scary, but if you're not like excited and anticipating the journey that it might be, maybe you just shouldn't do it at all. If you're that afraid, you know? And I say this as a woman who is looking back at maybe some things that it could have been red flags in past relationships now that I'm a fully developed adult with a lot of emotional intelligence. And, you know, maybe when somebody says that they're afraid to do something, maybe they just shouldn't do it.
Yeah, that don't mean push through.
Because you bring a lot of negative emotions into the experience instead of being like, well, you know, I'm afraid I won't be a good parent. Even that, like I don't think I was ever afraid to be a mom. I was, you know, I wanted to be I want to be the best mom I can be. I want to be a loving and accepting parent. I want to be better than my parents, which is a high bar. But I was never scared. If you scared, he's scared of it. So just don't do it.
Oh.
He's scared. Like, don't do it.
Just don't. You don't have to.
I think if you're 40 something and you're still afraid, maybe it's something you shouldn't do. Camille said that she wants to be a mom within the next 1.5 to 2 years. I think that's personally a little bit quick, but hey, you can know somebody for 15 years and still be a single mama and still be dealing with some bullshit. So do it. You know,
Like me.
whatever. Anyway, let's move on to the next couple. Let's move on to Juan and Carla. Okay. Juan has a different tune this season, doesn't he? He said, I'm excited to see what your pottery looks like, because they went to make pottery together. And even Juan was talking a little bit spicy. I'm not even going to lie. When Juan was working his fingers, I even said, hold on. Let me zoom in. I can't even zoom in on my TV, and I tried to zoom in to catch his finger work. And I said, wow, this is looking very impressive.
Wow.
And the way he was moving his fingers with the clay and then working with the clay and stuff like that, I said, baby, he's scared at it. He's scared. Because what? Okay, you trying to get a little spicy this episode, Juan. I see you. Anyway.
Y'all gonna get sick of me.
Even with all of that mildly flirtatious behavior, Carla's body language when her and Juan were in bed let me know that she's just not into it, because she doesn't feel anything with Juan. He doesn't feel anything with her. I just think that she's into it. They were talking about their relationship in bed, and I don't know if y'all noticed, but Carla's body was literally turned like this, and she was talking to Juan like this.
Wasn't into it.
Baby, when I like somebody, I be...
Oh, Lord. Why this got to be about you?
Leg on top of their leg. Arm on... baby, don't let a man I'm talking to have biceps. Baby, I'm rubbing all on your shoulder, honey. I'm rubbing your shoulder. I'm rubbing your biceps. I'm rubbing your chest. I'm rubbing your back. I'm massaging your ass, okay? Because that's what I do when I like somebody. She wasn't giving it.
Don't let him have arms.
And I know Carla, me and Carla were both Pisces. The more I see Carla, the more I fall in love with her, honestly, over the course of the season. I found her to be a little bit annoying in the beginning, but that's normal. She annoyed me the way I annoy myself. You know what I mean? And I really relate to Carla. I know how affectionate she is. She don't like that man because he's not making her feel desired. So, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, she's over it.
Carla and Juan said they think that they're on the same page. And I think the same page is just the agreement to glide through this process without having any drama. And they're both going to say no on decision day. Anyway, the little flirtatious, I don't even know if that was flirtatious, but it was very sexual words that they were using when Juan was dealing with the pottery. He said deeper, then you gotta pull it out. Then Carla said squirt, and he said 2 fingers, 3 fingers. Then he said you gotta get it more wet. I said, okay, but Juan is not funny. He's not funny. Carla's the funniest one. Juan was like, I like to make people laugh. Then do it.
Yeah, try. Come on.
Carla's the funny one. I don't understand. A lot of guys be thinking that they're funny, and I be like this.
Cricket, cricket, cricket. Tumbleweed, tumbleweed.
I literally was chatting with a man today, and I told him, you don't be talking about nothing. I've had to tell several men over the course of my adulthood and dating, you ain't talking about nothing.
Nothing.
He was like, what do you mean? I was like, you don't be talking about nothing.
No conversation.
Entertain me.
No good chat.
And Juan think he's really entertaining. He not. Carla's the personality, the charisma, the uniqueness, the nerve, the talent. Anyway, Juan and Carla was singing around the campfire at the house when everybody was on the retreat. And Juan, once again, wasn't talking about nothing. He said, I think music is the soul of the world. I love music. It's the soul of the world. What the hell does that mean? Music is the soul of the world.
Right.
I swear to y'all, do y'all listen to what people say? Nothing, nothing, nothing. He said nothing. Music is the soul of the world. I would have said, what does that mean?
Nothing.
And he would have said, I don't know. It's just music is like, it's music. Okay. Okay. Okay, sure. Anyway, Carla said we should be proud of ourselves. And I wrote down, Carla looks like she's taken or smoked some extracurriculars. And Juan said that their relationship, is not perfect, but it also ain't shit. Which means like he was trying to say, it ain't perfect, but it's not as crappy as these other people we've witnessed. So, which is true, even though they're not going to say yes on decision day. They don't like each other. Okay. Ikechi and Emem are not even a conversation to have because Ikechi is not on this retreat because he tried to give his girl divorce papers earlier in the retreat. But listen, we talk about sex appeal a lot on my channel and how I think it's important to work on your own individual sex appeal and self-esteem and get to know your body and stuff like that. We talk a little bit about it on my podcast, Jazz After Dark, as well. You can subscribe to the subscription here on YouTube if you want to join us when we talk about intimacy. But I personally think that sex appeal has nothing to do with an external partner. It's all with how you feel about yourself. And Emem should work on her sex appeal. Because she's literally walking around the house like this. Literally. Emem's walking around the house like this. I'm like...
What's going on?
Anyway.
Emem
this is how she talk.
Yeah, that is how she talk. Like a granny.
Listen, I have no room to talk, okay? A lot of people don't know this. You watch me online, but I'm very awkward. I'm very clumsy and I'm slew-footed, okay? But listen, when I put on the heels, I know how to pull myself together, Like,
get it together, Jazz.
Come on, girl. Anyway, let's move on to the real tea this episode. That was quick.
Okay.
Let's talk about the retreat. I have a lot of notes. I'm trying to get myself together. So the couples got together and they had a little quiz for each other, right? They sat around and they asked each other who's most likely to do X. Here were some of the questions and answers. Who's most likely to die in a horror movie? I wrote down it was Carla because she's not going to try. She's going to say, okay, well, just kill me. Like, I'm ready to be released from this lifetime anyway. Like, just kill me. Like, come on. I think she's most likely to die. I think everybody said Allan. They said, who's most likely to participate in an orgy? I wrote down Carla because it sounds like she's already had one. And everybody else said the same thing. And she was like, it's an expression of love. Like, They said, who's most likely, and keep in mind, these are my answers, right? Who's most likely on the show to be an exotic dancer? I wrote down David because he's broke.
Exactly. Good answer.
No money. Brokey. He's broke. Brokey. Allan said that the person who's most likely to be an exotic dancer is Juan because he got a banging body. Allan, who asked you all of that?
Nobody.
And Juan was like, okay, I guess I got a banging body. And Allan was like, he's scared of this.
Hey.
He's scared. Okay, anyway. He's scared of this. Okay.
Enough. Is that the last time we're going to do it this episode? Okay.
Allan submitted a question to the group and said, who here is most interested in latex play. And everybody said, what the hell is latex play?
Y'all
and he
know.
was like, oh, I thought these were gonna be anonymous.
What?
You thought that these were gonna be anonymous, so you asked about latex play? And they were like, Allan, what is latex play? It's when, it's like, well, it's when, you put on latex outfits and, there's holes and stuff like that. Anybody got a towel I can wipe my head off with? And, it's just, there's holes around the vagina and can we move on to the next question? Allan, that's why your ass is getting cheated on. Because what? Don't get me wrong. I feel that Allan is the only victim in this situation. I feel sorry for Allan. But Allan, don't be acting weird in front of people. Okay? You asked the whole group, are y'all into latex play, and then got to sweating when we asked you what it was. At least have some confidence about your kinks or keep that to a minimum.
Yeah. At home.
Anyway, they said who is most likely to be caught cheating, and everybody said David, except for Thomas's stupid self. He said, me? I think I'm the most likely to get cheated on because or I'm the most likely to cheat because I've done it.
Okay.
That's why I tell y'all, men don't know how to tell jokes. They only tell the truth.
Exactly.
You think you're the most likely to get caught cheating? Well, it's the most who's most likely to get caught. And I've been caught.
Dumb answer. Just say David. Like everybody else.
When I tell y'all, it's like, what? I don't have nothing to say about that except it was stupid. It was stupid. It was dumb. And Michelle wrote down, hold on. Who's most likely to cheat? Who's most likely to cheat? And who do y'all think Michelle wrote down? She's like, David.
Why did you write it down?
Because he's cheating now. He cheated. And I also submitted that question because he's a cheater. He cheated. So, Michelle, go get some help. Go get some help, okay? You're upset because a guy cheated on you, a guy you didn't even want, a guy you didn't even like, a guy you spent 6 weeks putting down, saying that he wasn't good, he wasn't attractive, you didn't like the way he smells, you didn't like the way he looks, he's a brokey, he ain't got no money, you don't like his personality, he's a bum who lives at home, who doesn't make money, and I can't believe he cheated on me.
And now you're surprised.
I can believe he cheated.
I definitely believe it.
Because you spent 6 weeks telling him that he wasn't shit. So, what's not clicking with you?
Let me know.
Anyway, I wrote down I like Michelle. I dislike Michelle more and more. Honestly, I don't care about this episode. Listen, let me just say this. I am glad that Michelle was very persistent because we got the answers that we needed out of this episode because of her persistence. I am glad. I know y'all want me to say, you know what, everybody? I want to thank Michelle right now for her being annoying and constantly digging for answers about a man she didn't like and never liked and was never going to like, and it was very evident and clear that she wasn't going to like him. I'm very glad that she was persistent in her pursuit of proving that David is a butthole who doesn't deserve to be married. I'm really, really glad that she was persistent in that. With that being said, now I don't like her. I'm never gonna like her. You know why? Because I think she is a mean person. Like, whether she got cheated on or not, I think that the way that she spoke to David and the way she was so dismissive about him and his upbringing and where he is in life and stuff like that, calling him a brokey, telling him that, you know, he didn't dress good and that he wasn't attractive has nothing to do with
compatibility.
Him being a terrible liar loser who cannot wait 8 weeks to find another woman. Like, you're right. David is he's dumb. Let's just say that. He doesn't have it all, right? But you didn't have to continuously put him down. And the way that he treated you is not a justification for your behavior in the beginning of the season. And I will never go back on it. And I also won't go back on the fact that I believe she had some inherited biases against him because he was a man of color.
Period.
And she didn't understand his culture and didn't want to understand his culture. I will never take it back. But David is a dumbass.
Not understanding, but also didn't want to understand, didn't care.
Yeah. So, but the fact that he cheated,
unforgivable,
does not surprise me. Now, him and Madison not being able to wait until decision day to do the stupid shit that they did, completely uncalled for. I think it's disgusting because y'all could have waited 2 more weeks,
literally,
and then said no on decision day and started dating each other after the fact.
And we would have rooted for you, actually.
Y'all could have done that. That would have been very simple. Y'all could have kept flirting in person at the gym. Y'all could have kept the text message to a minimum. Okay? Yep. Y'all could have done all of that and then waited 2 more weeks until after decision day and started dating each other after fact, and nobody would have been mad at y'all. The way that y'all handled this on this episode today was grimy.
Trash.
Made for great television though. But it was really out of line. It was grimy.
And now y'all the villains.
And y'all, I know she asked for a black man. I think that you have to go back and watch my reviews. Because I've already talked about that. Just because she requested, first of all, the fact that, I'm going to say this. I've said it on my YouTube before. But the fact that Michelle asked for a light-skinned black man on the show in the first place is problematic to me.
Very problematic.
It's a very problematic to ask for a black man of a certain skin tone, in my opinion. I think that that's pretty disgusting. Actually.
Colorist. It's colorist.
If you like men of color, you like men of color. If you like black men, request a black man. If you're so desperate to go on this show and to get somebody to marry that you've never seen, ask for somebody who's just going to treat you right. It doesn't matter their skin tone. I personally think that her asking for a light-skinned black man proves that she is biased, not only against black men, because she don't want a dark-skinned one. Okay? She wants a biracial man who maybe has a white mom who's acceptable to her and the things that she likes. I'm not with it. I'm not with it. Sorry. Never gonna get me with that one. Sorry.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna
because
get it.
Because if it was a man and he said, oh, well, I only date light-skinned black women, completely unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. You know what I mean? If you hear a black man say that, it's like, okay, he has some self-hatred, colorism issues because of like internalized white supremacy. If I heard a white man say that, gross. I only date biracial black women, not fully black. No. Please, let's get out of here. No, I'm not going to accept it. Terrible person. Sorry. And I'm going to keep that in, even though I was talking to the live here. Okay.
I mean, you keep everything in, so okay.
Anyway, during this episode, Michelle pulled Allan aside a couple of times. Once outside, and she asked him if he's ever suspected anything between Madison and David, because she did, you know? And he said, no, they're just friends. I never suspected anything between them. But that got the wheel spinning with Allan. And Allan was thinking about it all evening. Now, you know what? I really wish Allan would have pulled Madison aside and asked her instead of being passive aggressive towards her. Even though I don't blame Allan for that, because I think he was really upset and he was trying to figure out how to deal with his emotions during that time. None of this is Allan's fault. I think that he got the short end of the stick in all of this, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's really unfortunate because I think Allan came on the show because he wanted to find somebody And he really did put everything that he could into the relationship, you know. Even though he's a bit quirky and he says some inappropriate things, it's his personality, you know. It's his personality. Madison pulled Allan aside. He said, I didn't notice anything between them, but it got the wheels spinning. Remember, after that conversation later on, I'm sorry, I'm getting the names mixed up because Madison and Michelle, I'm acting like David. I'm sorry. Okay, so Michelle pulled Allan aside. Allan didn't notice anything. So when Madison approached him later, he was in the bed and he was being passive aggressive, right? He was giving Madison attitude because he was like, honestly, I'm starting to think, and I think there might be something going on between them. It got the wheels spinning. And somebody said Allan could have ended this a long time ago. I think Allan really liked Madison and he really wanted it to work. It's very clear that he liked Madison and he was starting to develop feelings for her. But you know what? I think I want to say that in life, it's really important to like who likes you. I'm not 20 years old. When I was 20, I used to walk around having crushes on people that didn't like me.
Woo, did you?
I don't do that no more. And not only do you have to like me, you have to like me enough.
Right.
You gotta really like me, honey. You gotta really come with it. Because if you like me a little bit, I'm not excited about that. You gotta keep me on my toes. You gotta make it exciting. You know, if you like me a little bit, nah, I'm good. I'm cool on that.
Right.
I like, you gotta like me more than I like me damn near.
Okay, obsessed.
I like a little bit of a persistence.
I like an almost stalker.
I like a little bit of a tiny bit of little obsession, you know?
I'm kidding. In case somebody weird is watching this. I'm joking.
If you lukewarm on me, you trying to figure out if you like me, I'm not with it. But Allan is going to learn a lesson in that. Like who likes you. Okay? She didn't like you, but you kept trying. But that's the whole point of the show, right? I get it.
The producers push you.
But
they push you to keep trying.
Anyway, Madison pulled Michelle aside, or Michelle pulled Madison aside. I wrote down Madison and Madison. Michelle pulled Madison aside, okay? And Michelle said, was that text message that David sent meant for you? Because I don't believe somebody sent him a picture. I think it was somebody he was looking at in person, and the message was made for you. Was it made for you? And then Madison goes, well, I don't think it was made for me. Like, I don't really know. Like, why would it be made for me? Like, I mean, what? Like, what? Like, I don't think it was made for me. Like, no. I don't think it was for me. Like, yeah, it was like me and him and Carla, and we were out, and I don't think it was for me. Like, why would it be for me? Like, we've never talked. Like, do you want to see my phone? Like, I've never gotten a message from him ever. He's never messaged me ever. He's never even messaged me. We've never talked. I've never spoken to him.
What's wrong with you at this point, though? Forget everybody else. What's wrong with you?
Oh, okay. I'm like the girl with the bob.
Okay. Stiff wear. Ah.
Oh, y'all don't talk now. Y'all never spoken. Oh, okay. You don't even have his number. Oh, okay. Anyway, Michelle was like, are you sure? Because I think it was for you. She's like, no, it wasn't. And Michelle, this is why this is like my own personal thing.
This is why
I believe in women's intuition. I believe that when you listen to yourself, not just for women, for anybody, male, female, non-binary, when you listen to your intuition, you're listening to God. I don't mean to preach with y'all, but I just got to tell y'all, when you listen to your intuition, that's God.
Right.
For me, that's the way that I move. There have been plenty of times where I've had intuition about many things in life and I didn't listen to it. And that was God trying to tell me, trying to speak to me directly. And you hear it up here and you feel something down here, but you don't listen to it. That's God trying to tell you. And God sends you multiple signs about things in life. And you really have to be in tune with yourself to be like, nah, I really know. And the older you get, the more clearly for me, I'll speak for myself. The older that I get, the more clearly God speaks to me, and I have learned to listen.
Period.
Listen instead of ignoring. And that's why I believe, like, I'm not a very religious person, but when like growing up in the church, they say lean not into your own understanding. And I think that that's very much not saying that you don't know. It's saying that don't ignore when God is trying to speak to you. Listen to yourself. So don't lean into your own understanding. It's like, don't try to ignore what God is clearly telling you. So when you get that intuition, lean not into your own understanding, but listen to yourself in here. Okay? In here, what is your heart and your gut telling you? What is your body telling you when God is trying to speak to you directly? Because you'll get stuck in your head and completely ignore your body.
Preach.
And Michelle did not ignore her body on this episode. She was like, you know what? I believe that this is something in my gut. My head, it doesn't make sense because I have zero evidence. But something in my gut is telling me that this is what it is. She listened to herself. And she ended up being right? Or she listened to God, ended up being right? So after this conversation, Madison is spiraling. Allan is spiraling. Okay? Michelle told Madison, I feel like you're David's type. And Madison said, what? Because I'm blonde? And she said, yeah. I wrote down, I really want Madison and Michelle to honestly just fight at this point. I wanted somebody to throw hands. I'm not even gonna lie. That would have made for good TV. Also, let's keep in mind that while during the game, everybody was throwing shots at David. They were just telling the truth. And Madison was giggling. Okay? Allan got up and asked Michelle, how are you feeling? And then he confessed to Michelle that if he lost Madison, he would be devastated. Like, he would be affected by this, right? So I'm trying to just look at all my notes and see where I'm at. Okay. I wrote down, Emem is walking around the house in pain like this. Okay. And the producers, this is when the producers pulled Madison aside and said, is there any truth to this? Off camera, right? We can see the producers, half of their body. Madison is off camera. She's mic'd up. And she said, I don't know. Damn it, Madison. The producer asked Madison, is there any truth to this? She said, I don't know. That means there's some truth to it. There's some truth to it.
You don't know. How you not know the truth?
Also, let me not skip the fact that Madison and Michelle sat down again. And Madison was like, I can go get my phone. I can show you my phone. Yeah, and you can see that there's nothing between us. I can show you my phone. Yeah, you know, because I have proof. And then Michelle said this on the after show. Madison shows her phone. Messages between her and David, 0. Michelle was like, I thought you said y'all message about the gym. That was weeks ago. Okay, girl. Okay. And Michelle told Madison to search David in your phone. You know, on iPhone, you can search anything in your messages and pull up anything. Like, for example, one of my friends lives on Crenshaw and I forgot her address. You go to your messages, you search Crenshaw, and then you look up all the times it's been mentioned, right? The address came up because that's the last time we talked about it. You can use that with anything. So Michelle asked Madison to search David. And there were no messages between Madison and David, but there were tons of messages of Madison texting her friends about David.
Right.
So you type David in Madison's search and David came up dozens of times because she was talking to her friends about him. Bloop, got his ass.
And she tried to hide that from Madison.
Got him.
Michelle.
Also, she said, let's go to your DMs on Instagram. She go to her DMs on Instagram. Her and David, 0 DMs. I thought you said y'all talk. Oh, well, I mean, you're stupid.
Dumb.
You're stupid. If you was a real cheater, if you was really smart, you would have did like, you would have did like some of the men I know, and you would have deleted some of the messages and kept some of them. Duh. If you was a real cheater, you would have did like some of the men I know, and you would have said, call my sister. I swear to God, call my sister right now. My sister would tell you that I wasn't doing nothing. I swear to God. I swear on my mama. I would never do no shit like that. But you lied.
The drama is needed.
That's kind of stuff men say. Anyway. So finally, David and Madison get together. Madison pulls David aside. And let me tell you something about this scene. David was trying to figure out what Madison was on because he was about to lie. Because she was like, you know, you and I, we've had conversations. We've had gym dates. Gym dates? Girl, the gym ain't no damn date. The gym is not no date. The gym is not no date. Guess what? The gym is not a date. The gym is not a date. The gym is only a date if you my boyfriend. Period. Cause I do like to go to the gym with my man. I never been to the gym with a man in my life. But I imagine my next man, we will go to the gym together, and that would be a cute little date. But the gym, that was not a date. David has never taken you on a date. Okay, that's not a date. Y'all just met up at the gym. That was a rendezvous. Okay, that was a little, what did Jada Pinkett call it? That was a little what was it? What did Jada Pinkett call it?
Entanglement.
When her and August Alsina would meet up.
Intertwining.
What they say? What she used to call
sex.
It wasn't a rendezvous. It was a what?
Booty call.
Come on, chat. Please help me. That was a little entanglement. Y'all was entangled. Yeah.
Tied up.
Y'all was a little entanglement. Anyway, she said we've had gym dates. We've had good conversations. And I do like you more than I should. First of all, why are you telling David this and not telling your husband? I'll tell you why. They got together to see if they felt the same way about each other on camera before deciding to be in agreement with each other before going to their spouses. Right. Yeah. They decided, let's lock this in real quick so we can hang on to each other during this. We can support each other during this. We're going to be in agreement with each other. And then we're going to go to our spouses. Because if you went to the spouse first and came back to David, that's not going to work. Y'all have to be in agreement with each other on your cheating. Okay? Y'all remember the black man with the white lady, the news reporter?
Yeah.
Okay? You have to be, when you cheating on somebody, you got to be in agreement with the person you cheating on. Okay? Because you can't go to your spouse first and say, hey, you know, I like this person. No. You and the person you cheating with, both of y'all are losers. So y'all have to be in agreements with each other. And then y'all got to go to the other person. And say, hey, I'm cheating. Anyway,
hey, I'm cheating. It's crazy.
I wrote down David is so happy that Madison cannot continue in her marriage. I don't think Madison and David are going to work. They're not going to work. But anyway, he was happy as hell. David said, you were the only one giving me attention. Well, let's get this over with. You know what? I think it's important that when we listen to men's language, I think it's important to listen to men's language because during this conversation, you know, David didn't say nothing about Madison as an individual. He didn't say, you know, I really like your personality. I like your positivity. You know, I like who you are. I like the way you look. I like the way you smell. I like the way you talk to me. It was none of that. It was, you were the only person that was giving me attention. And yeah, I meant to send that to you, but I sent it to my wife.
Oops.
I don't think there's anything about Madison that makes her special to David, in my opinion. I think that she was just in proximity to him during this process.
Right.
Because keep in mind, David tried to go back and he had coffee with his ex. He was probably flirting with one of the producers. He was flirting with Madison. He was just reaching for the next woman to help him build his self-esteem back up after this woman was tearing him down. To be honest with you, that's what it felt like. Somebody on the chat said they still together. I expect them to be together at least until after the reunion. Come on now, you can't break up this soon. You got to prove that y'all had real love.
Right.
That y'all was really meant to be together. If y'all was willing to cheat and sacrifice the marriages and sacrifice all of this shit on the show, you can't break up that soon. Come on, guys. You got to stay together for at least a year after the reunion. And then it's going to come out that y'all not together no more. Because y'all were never really meant for each other. It was just the fact that you were in close proximity to each other.
Let them know.
That's it. David is with you, Madison, because his girl over here was making him feel bad about himself, which she was completely wrong for that. But he reached towards you because you were easy and in proximity to him. He didn't say nothing during the conversation with Allan, that made me think that he's actually in love with you. In fact, when he sat down with Allan, he said, she knows more about me than my wife knows about me. It was never about who you are as a person. It was always about the fact that you showed him attention when this woman was putting him down. Oh, gag it!
Gag it! Low-hanging fruit. Sorry. Sorry.
David said, seeing you in the gym made my day. This is the start of a love story for them. Right. Anyway, David says, I can see you as my ride or die. I could see you as my Coretta Scott King. AKA.
Wow.
When a man says, I can see you as my, that really don't sit right with me. You my ride or die. You my Coretta Scott King. You are an accessory to me on my journey.
Never, always my, never my wife.
That's what that sounds like. Because why would you want me to be your ride or die? Why would I have to ride with you to die? Why? I'll never ride or die with nobody, honey. I'm getting out the car and I'm escaping. I'm calling the cops. Honey, forget the cops. I'm getting out of the car and I'm calling a private investigator, because what the fuck? You think I'm about to ride or die with you? No, I'm surviving.
No, I'm good.
I think the idea that you have to be dragged through the mud is crazy.
Crazy.
He kept telling Michelle, I thought you were my ride or die. I thought you were going to be my ride or die. No, I'm not riding with you or dying with you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be your Coretta Scott King. I'm not going to put up with you through no matter the hell what, just because you making a few speeches.
Now, Jazz, hold on.
This is all jokes. This is all entertainment, because I know Dr. Martin Luther King's daughter will get on the fucking internet and come for me in a minute and say, you take that disrespectful shit down immediately.
Okay.
Anyway.
You ought to be ashamed.
Whew, my goodness, the way I'm hilarious. David said the text was for you, and Madison said, why?
Girl,
you know why.
Right.
He want the draw.
Period.
He's scared at his
Hey, he's scared.
Too much?
Okay, yeah.
Madison said, we didn't come into this journey to make friends. I said, yeah, y'all came to make enemies. My daddy called me during the episode and said Allan is about to go to jail because he about to tear the house up. My daddy said Allan about to leave the house and come back and clank clank. I don't know what sound that made. My daddy said Allan, everybody better get out the house. Cause y'all know how I'm not trying to say nothing about how men who look like Allan be doing, but when they get upset, honey, I get to leave in this space. Cause honey, when I used to work in human resources and we gotta fire a white man, oh my God. I used to call in the next day. I'm working from home.
Right.
Okay, cause I try to work from home as many days as I could. One day my boss said, Jazmyn, you gotta come in. I said, well, we fired Bill 6 days ago. I tried to give it 2 weeks. And she said, Jazmyn, you cannot work from home for 2 weeks. I said, hey, I was always nice to him. But, I try to stay out of the vicinity. Anyway, David sat down with Allan and said, I'm coming to you as a woman.
Right.
He said, I'm coming to you as a woman. He said, hey, Shirley. Hey, this is Loretta. Hey, how you doing? I just want to let you know that I've been living across the street from you for 20 years, and all of these kids is raised. All of them, what you mean all of your kids is raised? All of the kids over here in this house, all 4 of these kids over here is raised. And we've been living across the street from you for 20 years, and I've been sleeping with your husband. And every night when he say he working late, he not even working late. Well, where he getting the money from? You getting the money? Yeah, I give him the money every week because I'm a dummy.
Wait, is this still about Married at First Sight?
Anyway.
I thought that we was talking about Married at First Sight.
David told Allan, Madison and I have a connection that you ain't got with her and that I don't have with my wife. And it wasn't on purpose. It wasn't on purpose. It was just proximity. The other P. Allan said, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You think I give a fuck? Cause I don't. I'm still in the motherfucking house. I'm still in the motherfucking. I don't give a fuck. You think I care? Cause I don't. And fuck you and fuck you. And I don't give a fuck. How about that? And fuck you and fuck her and fuck you. Allan said, I knew it. I knew I ain't mean nothing to the bitch. I knew I ain't mean a damn thing to the bitch. Fuck you and fuck her. I done spent $3,000 on new drip for the bitch, and she can't even appreciate a real nigga like me. Fuck her. Hell no. I done spent $50,000 on the bitch. You know, ain't nobody flossing on you like that.
Ain't nobody stunting on you like that. He turned into Birdman.
I wrote down, Allan was trying to change for her. Poor guy. He did say he spent $3,000 on clothes for the bitch.
He did. That's what he said. Verbatim.
He said, I tried to stunt with her. I tried to really fuck with her for real. She wasn't really fucking with me like that. I was really fucking with her real heavy, though. I really was holding her down heavy, man. I was fucking with her the long way. You feel me? But she ain't really appreciate a real nigga like me. You feel me? I was really fucking with the bitch. But hell nah. Nigga, I ain't going for it. He turned into a Dallas real nigga. I wrote down, is Allan drunk?
Are you?
Because everybody was like, you can't drive like this. You can't drive like this. I wrote down, Allan is disgusted. He said, I gave her lots of outs on camera and in private. I gave her the opportunity to get out of this. That's your first sign, though, Allan. I wrote down, ain't nobody telling Michelle nothing. Ain't nobody telling Michelle nothing. Ain't nobody telling Michelle nothing. Ain't nobody said a damn thing to Michelle. Madison said, F you, Michelle. David said, F you, Michelle. And to be honest, I don't blame them not saying nothing to Michelle because you know.
You already know.
You know so well. Okay, then you was right.
Period.
David finally went to Michelle in the hallway and said, okay, you was right. It was for Madison. I lied. And she said, about what? He said everything. I said everything with him at the same time. I said everything. He said everything.
Yep.
Period. Michelle said, oh, so you made me look crazy. He said, I didn't make you look crazy. And I wrote down, Michelle, you don't look crazy. You look mean. As always. And then he was like, yeah, you didn't like me after you did that, said X and X, Y, and Z to me, I wanted attention, so I got it from somewhere else. And she was like, oh, okay, you're just going to put me down? That's not putting you down, Michelle. I know you want to be the victim in this so bad, Michelle, but guess what? You're not the victim. I wonder if you had not talked so badly about this man, if he would have still did that. But you have to take accountability for the part that you played in this.
He probably would have.
So you're not going to turn around and be the victim in this, Michelle? You're not.
You're not. Sorry.
Because you're not the victim. He didn't put you down. He never put you down, actually. During this whole process, he never put you down. All he said was you did not like him. You didn't show him affection. He didn't think there was a future with you at all because of the way you treated him. And you said, oh, so you put me down? That's not putting you down. That's just telling you. You never really tried in the process. And she swears up and down that she tried. But she didn't. And you don't have to. But just say you don't like the man. Just say, you know what? I don't think it's going to work. But still be, you could still have been a kind person. You weren't. And, you know, all the people online are like, oh, she knew that David was a bad person from the beginning. She knew that David was a bad person in the beginning. I'm not going to ever sit up here and agree with the fact that Michelle met David, found out that he lived in his parents' basement, and decided that he was a cheater and a bad person, and she wasn't going to give him respect. That's not what happened, you guys. She just didn't like him.
Right.
She didn't think he deserved to just be spoken kindly to, honestly. At least Madison, I don't agree with what Madison did because she made it seem like her and her partner could have made a connection. I feel like you could have just been honest with your feelings, Madison, about not liking Allan and been like, you know, like, I don't really know if this is going to work. I just don't know if it's going to work. Even though Madison kind of said it, but she was too afraid of hurting Allan's feelings. And then Michelle was just overkill. She didn't care about hurting his feelings. She wanted to hurt his feelings, it almost seemed like. Right? And then he did something bad and she was like, you're a bad person. I knew it. This proves it. It doesn't keep you from being a mean person. And it doesn't take away from the weird shit that you said throughout the whole process of putting him down. And now you're trying to play the victim. I'm sorry. The only victim in this is Allan.
Yep. From my point of view.
Allan and Emem. Okay? I don't know how more than half of the cast this season turned out to be trash. I really don't. But do y'all need help picking people?
Right.
Because I got a few cousins that probably want to be on the show. Anyway, if y'all still here, subscribe to my channel. Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.